So guys, we're gonna do eggplant parmesan, okay? So you guys asked about this. We're gonna do these my way as opposed to the way that like would be a normal generic way of doing it. I like to do mine in little individual orders. You could easily put this in a huge tray, bake it, and then figure that out later. But we're gonna do it this way. So first things first, super sharp knife. You want the knife to do all the work. You're literally doing nothing but thin slices. So you start with very thin slices of eggplant. So you're looking for about that thickness right there. So I don't know, 1/16 of an inch. All right, we're gonna do a couple of these. Jesus. Because we want a lot of layers in our eggplant parm, so we're gonna do quite a bit of them. And if they get a little thicker, a little thinner, no worries at all. We're not looking for perfection when it comes to eggplant parm. Literally, once you put pomodoro and everything else in it, it's not gonna, no way you can make this taste bad, so. A couple more slices. One more. Just like that. And then you could obviously do it all if you want, or you can save this for something else, make caponata, you can cube it up. We'll look back on videos, you can make alla norma pasta with it, so you can utilize it for anything that you want. All right, so now, the most important part of eggplant when you're doing these is you want to draw out some of this moisture. If you look at it, you can see there's tons of water in here, right? You want to draw some of that out. So what I do is I kind of give it a little stack like this. All right, and then a little bit of salt on top. All right, then I take it, I flip it over. Same idea, a little bit of salt on top. All right, now that's got to sit for at least 10 minutes, so we're gonna set that aside, okay? While that's sitting aside, we're gonna get everything else ready. So flour, a little bit of salt in your flour. You got breadcrumbs. We're gonna do a little bit of salt in the breadcrumbs, and we're also gonna put a little bit of Parmesan cheese in the breadcrumbs, just like I do for my chicken cutlets. All right, and then you have your eggs. So for the eggs, what I do is I do egg, then I do a little bit of water, and obviously season it because eggs don't come seasoned. So we do eggs first. All right, season it, and a little bit of water, probably about 2 tablespoons of water. You're not looking for a lot. And then break up your yolks and give it a nice whisk. You could use a fork, you could use a spoon like I'm using here, you could use a whisk, it's up to you. You're just basically trying to break up all of the proteins in the eggs and mix with that water, so it's easier to then sit here and flour, egg, breadcrumb, and then fry. All right, just like that. All right, so now it's been a couple minutes. We let the eggplant soak out and get a lot of that liquid out. So I got some olive oil in the pan. I got a decent amount in here, probably about a half a cup. All right, I only fry in extra virgin olive oil. It's healthy for you. I'm not a big vegetable oil person, canola or anything like that. The only thing I normally use to cook with is extra virgin olive oil, butter, or actual animal fats, whether it's tallow, lardo, or chicken fat. So we're gonna start with extra virgin. So now, the process of this, all right, is flour first. Make sure you get it completely coated. You can peel the eggplant if you don't like the skin. I like the skin of the eggplant. Then it's egg, and then right into the breadcrumb mixture, all right? And for the breadcrumb mixture, just make sure that you're pushing it down and really get it coated, all right? Turn that guy down, because we're not there yet. All right, flour again. Egg. Breadcrumb. And you do that with all of these, okay? Nice chunks of basil in my parm. pick all this. And we're not gonna give it a chop because again, I like it to be nice and chunked and whole. All right, so now we're gonna fry, okay? So make sure that's hot. Keep that up a little bit. All right, we seasoned everything seasoned. We have our tomato sauce. All right, tomato sauce is here. We have our salt, we have our Parmesan cheese, we have our ricotta cheese, and we have our fresh mozzarella. Because I use fresh mozzarella. I'm not really a huge shredded mozzarella guy. I like fresh for a lot of the stuff. So let's check to see if this oil is hot. Barely. Kick that heat up. And then of course, because I'm bougie, I use tweezers, but you could easily use tongs, okay? And we're gonna fry every single one of these until they're golden brown. And I'm gonna show you how this one, what I mean by golden brown. I like to continuously move it so it gets even color on all sides. And then you're gonna find that sweet spot on the heat. I just jack this up all the way just because I want to make sure that the oil is actually hot for frying. And you want to start with a good amount of oil just like this. You may have to add a little bit more as you go just because it's gonna absorb a lot of the oil. Eggplant has a tendency to do that automatically. So that's how golden brown we want to do this. I'm going to flip it over just one more time like I just did. Let that get a little bit more color. And then we're going to rest it back on this rack that we have the rest of the eggplant on because you want to get all that oil to drip off of it. Give that another second. Just like that. All right, golden brown. Take it off, put it right on here, and then the first thing you do is you hit it with a little bit of salt. All right, and we're gonna do that with every single one that we have here. And you don't have to do one at a time. We're obviously gonna kick it up now and do a couple at a time because just wanted to show you the first one. And now that the oil's hot, obviously they're gonna cook even faster, so you just gotta make sure you keep an eye on it. So the last thing you want to do is make these burn. And remember, you're not looking to fully cook these, you're basically just looking to get that crust because you're gonna fully cook it in the oven, you're gonna bake it. Make sure you have room. All right, just like that, golden brown. And then drain all this oil off, right? Come on. All right. Same thing, season. And just keep going. All right, now that all your eggplant's fried, we're gonna build this, okay? So, first things first is you always put a little bit of pomodoro tomato sauce down at the bottom, right? Really work it in there. Okay, then next you put your eggplant. So, and we're really gonna create some layers here, so I'm gonna really get this packed in here just like this, all right? Then I take a little bit of ricotta. Again, this is not one of those things that is common. You don't really see ricotta in eggplant parm. It's normally literally like eggplant and some mozzarella. But I really like the added surprise that you get when you put the ricotta in it. All right, then we're gonna do a little bit of Parmesan cheese, a few basil leaves, tear them up a little bit. And then we're gonna do some fresh mozzarella because I only like to use fresh. I'm not really a huge fan of using shredded. And then we're gonna hit this with a little bit more pomodoro on top after that. And we're gonna keep layering that, all right? We're gonna use up all of this eggplant. And then you're gonna see we're gonna press it down at the end so all of that comes together really nicely. So again, pomodoro, and you don't have to, now at this point, you don't have to make sure that it's thinned out and you know, perfectly covering. We're gonna do it kind of broken up like this, all right? Same thing, and as you're putting it down, you're gonna press it down. Just like that. All right, we're gonna keep doing that. A little bit of pomodoro. And obviously it doesn't matter what you put first, but we're gonna go in that stage. We're gonna do a little parm on this one. Same thing with the shredded, or sorry, fresh that we're gonna shred. Just like that. Regatta. All right, basil. And then we're gonna keep going with the layers. So again, stack, and then give it a nice press, just like that. We're gonna keep doing that. Parm, regatta. All right, then basil. And then we're gonna put this, because this is probably gonna be the last layer, and we're gonna completely cover this one this time. So kind of do it like this. Just like that, and then again, you're gonna give it a nice little press, all right? And then we're gonna finish this, and when you finish it, we're gonna skip the regatta this time, and it's gonna be pomodoro just on top like this. All right. This time it's a good amount of parm. And then you're gonna take this and you're gonna kind of push it out so you break up this mozzarella a little bit. And we're gonna put a little bit more of an even layer on it this time, because we want this to caramelize nicely once it's into the oven. Just like that. All right, and then we're gonna put it right on here because we want equal circulation of heat when it's in the oven, and we're gonna go bake this, okay? Probably 20 to 25 minutes to bake. Here. All right. In the oven. This monster parm. Now that it's done, it looks beautiful, golden brown. Hit it with some olive oil. Always a good amount of olive oil on top. And basil leaves. Like that, and then parm, and I go from a height because I want to cover it equally, just like that. In the kitchen we call this slutty. All right, absolutely delicious. I'd pick it up without burning myself, but eggplant parm.